Welcome back and what's good, everybody, to another episode of Anime Tofu. This is a special episode, though, so the normal rules are out the window. Because today, we're having what we call an OVA. For all you people who watch anime, y'all know what those are. Our OVAs are called the Tofu Indulge, because that means we indulging in this tofu that we decide to season way back in the day. Gosh, that makes it sound really, really old, but I guess so. Because this was episode 3 when we talked about this, so it's been a while. We're talking about the one, the only, probably, as BJ, I believe, told us in one of the episodes, he said it's the most popular anime on the planet currently. That's wild. Kaiju number 8.
And I think that was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Was that Jujutsu Kaisen? Mm-hmm. Well, Kaiju number 8 is going to be there very soon. I guarantee you.
I'd say it's at least in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, it's going to catch up. We told you we loved it so much that we were going to finish the series, which is only, 12 episodes. So here we are. We're finishing it. We're taking a bite. We're going for it and see if our scores hold up to episode 1. As your squad leader of the Defense Force, I'm your host, Virgil, a.k.a. Methodical One, a.k.a. Big Bruh, followed by my co-shooters to the side, Mr. Longbeard, and, of course, Kefka himself, Daddy Bojangles, a.k.a. Robert.
Hey, Robbie Kafka Hibano can do a lot worse than that guy.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
How y'all doing, gents? Y'all good?
I'm excited for this OVA, bro. I'm excited to talk about Kaiju number 8.
I am too, dude. What a great anime. Like a good, strong impression, solid first season. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah.
Man, before we even get into it, the cast. This is one of I don't think there's a bad character in the show. So far, season 1, I don't think it's a bad character. They're all written. They're all different. And I have enjoyed it. So, we're about to get into this, but beware, because this is an entire season review. If you ain't watched it, you might want to come back later after you finish it, because we might drop a few bombs in here that you don't know about if you haven't watched the entire series. So beware. It's our first beware, because there could be some serious spoilers in here. So we just want to let you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want to be those guys. But at this point, you know what? I'm going to be one of them guys and be like, it's been out long enough. You should have watched it by now. If you like anime, this should have been on your radar, so you should have watched it.
I like that elitist attitude, bro. Let's do that.
Me too.
Let's keep that energy.
Yeah, should have watched it. So that's your fault. It's not ours.
Yeah.
Hey,
here's your warning. So you still have time. Go watch it and come back.
You can stop. You can stop right here, right now.
Yeah.
But if you continue, we laying it out on the table.
Yeah.
So you can't blame us. Let's get it started.
Let's do it.
All right. So if y'all remember in episode 3, just a quick rundown. Our hero Kefka, who is on the Defense Force cleanup, finally makes it to the big leagues. But before he gets to the big leagues, right before he gets to the big leagues, during a cleanup, Kefka and his trainee Ichikawa have an event that ends up changing their lives, making Kefka Kaiju number 8 at the end of the first episode. This season is all about the new recruits of the Defense Force, and man, are there some recruits, boy. These dudes ain't no joke. And of course, Mr. Kefka dealing with being Kaiju number 8 and being the lowest rated member of the Defense Force. I'm sorry, the lowest rated member ever of the Defense Force. Didn't they slap him with the 0, bro? They slapped him with the 0. That's why. Imagine being like, oh, cool, I made it to 2K. And then you go and check your rating, bro, and it's a 0. That's wild.
And what happens? Doesn't he get like a 0.1% and then he like jumps up or down and celebrates, or was that only 1%?
He got 1%. Was it? Go ahead, BJ.
Yeah, it was like 0.1% or whatever it was, and he was jumping up and down to celebrate, and he like tore his Achilles. Or he did so.
But the wild thing about it was they said nobody had never moved. They had never had anybody move like it, like from a 0 to a 1%. He said that's never happened. It's never been a thing. So, you know,
My man's got work ethic, you know?
he does. This whole team got work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
They're learning to become a team because there is a new Kaiju threat. This Kaiju threat seems pretty serious. So, time to indulge in this tofu, boys. Let's get it. I got so many questions, and I really want to hear what you guys got to say about this season, man, because I mean it's impressive.
Yeah.
Let's say it. I mean, you know, watching as much anime that we have, this is definitely one of the most impressive first seasons of an anime that I've ever watched. Shout out Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's up there with that. Shout out Solo Leveling, because it's definitely up there with that. I mean, boys, let's get into these questions. This one. As of right now, even after so many episodes we've done, this stands at the highest score of 92 after the first episode, which is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
We've given some high scores because, you know, we had I want to say Bartender was sitting at an 88, and I want to say that that Haiku was sitting at an 87.
Yeah.
So
we've had a couple that have been up there.
we do, but 90s is wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's A+ territory. That's A+ territory for when we went to school. I mean, as A territory for when we went to school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, do y'all really think that it was deserving of the A rating? Let's start with Justin for a change. Let's go. What you got?
Yeah. Okay. So 92 was a good score for the first episode. That was much more of a first impression. But getting into these last 11 after the first one, so it's 12 total. I think this show held up. I think the action in this show was awesome. I think there was a lot of drama. When is he going to reveal that he's a kaiju to his friends and team? If he does, what's going to happen with all that? There was just a lot. And one thing I really liked, I love when animes do this. I love when they trim the fat of their show and they don't throw in a lot of like random stuff, and it just feels like the story pacing just keeps moving. I feel like that's what makes this show so good for me, is that it does feel like it is just constantly between some of the best fights I've seen in a long time outside. Well, Solo Leveling, I would say, has some of the best fights I've
For
seen.
sure, yeah.
But Kaiju, again, it's up there with that. I mean, there's some really, really top-notch fight scenes in this show. Yeah, I think it holds up for me.
Okay. Daddy Bo, what you got?
I'm going to go ahead and mimic that. I do think the score of this show holds up. I greatly enjoyed every episode of this show, and even the finale, like it left me, has a finale, should have left me wanting more. And my favorite characters are mostly the same from when we first watched episode 1. Like, I really grew to love Kafka Hibino, the main character. Normally, I'm not a main character guy in animes. I always like some supporting character. But, dude, this dude's close to my age, and they call him old dude. He's 32. Like, I root for him, and if he's being called an old dude at 32, that makes you guys like Master Roshi in that universe.
Yeah,
but,
we got.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Anyway,
I would say that it's because, you know, when we first did that and we talked about the characters, he was my favorite, and you ridiculed me. So, you know, eat the credit, man.
I like the throwback. I like it. I like it. You know, Mr. Longbeard's been very petty, and I appreciate it. As a petty person myself, I definitely appreciate it in these episodes. And if y'all ever wondered, like, this is really how our friendship works. Like, even in person, when we saw each other a few weeks ago, and we were playing Killer B.
Mm-hmm.
Great game to play with friends. And I mean, this is pretty much how we operate. So it's almost like we're on the defense force, because that's pretty much how they played it up. I mean, the entire show, everybody called him old dude, but you know what? They respected him. And to be honest, he was very integral to the team because there was moments where he remembered things being on the cleanup squad that none of them would have ever figured out. And they would have lost quite a few of them battles had he not had the information that he had. 92, man, that's a high score. And this is one of them shows that even though I was watching it from week to week until the end because we had to wait because I watched it in dubbed and the dub was actually really good on the show. It continued to keep you wanting more. And every time an episode ended, you were like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? It was great. The cast of characters, I talked about this earlier. There's not a bad character in the show. Shout out to Vice Captain, though. That's my dog, bro. It don't look like he can see anything, but hey, that dude, when he pulls out his knife and he get up close, bro, it's game over. It's game over, dog.
That's true. Like he can't see anything. That's fact.
He does, bro. The anime character, bro, where they don't give him actual eyes, bro. He has no actual eyes. Like none. We don't see an eye. We don't see what his actual eye color is, but you know, when that dude pull up with the knife game, bro, it's game over. It's open season. He's wrecking stuff. And of course, you know, the captain of the team, bro, she's that girl. Because if she shows up.
What happened to the tiger?
It was there. I know it was there.
She never was up close fighting, though.
I think what the tiger does is when she's wielding the gigantic arm cannon, the tiger, I noticed, like, she uses that as when the recoil hits, she flies back into her tiger instead of
there you go.
The building. So
I want to see more tiger fighting stuff. Actually,
Yeah,
I want to see a tiger ripping kaiju apart. That's what
bro. She ain't miss arm day. I can tell you that. Because man, them guns that she be carrying and she be shooting them things off from miles away, bro. She missing no days. All right. I mean, all right. So we all on the same page. It's crazy. Not really, because I mean this anime really is that good. Favorite characters. We've already had a dig at Daddy Bojangles. Justin Longbeard's favorite character. So does y'all's favorite character still stick after 12 episodes? Or, I mean, do you have multiples? At this point, you can have multiples because we met a lot of characters. So what you got? Daddy Bo, let's start with you. We start with Justin last time. Let's go with you, bro.
Bro, I'll go ahead and throw you for a loop. One of my favorite characters is actually Kaiju number 9. He's like the main villain of the show, but he's like so cool and unique. And he has a cool power where like when he consumes someone, he can turn into them. So like you see him impersonate humans throughout the show, and he just adds something dope. Like he's like a legitimate threat when he's there. Like you don't know what's going to happen.
Because I mean, he was that part where he got trashed, bro. He did.
He got clapped up by Kaiju number 8. But, you know, outside of some plot armor, those other 2 Defense Force dudes should be dead. Plot armor saved them. But he was just cool. And I actually have a prediction for later regarding him. I guess we're going to have a prediction segment. I don't know if I should say it, so I'll leave it alone. But yeah, Kaiju number 9.
Okay.
You know, I liked him when he was playing chess, like 20 games of chess online at one time to test the human intellect. And so he was just like, cool, that was kind of cool because you're like, dude, this dude's just in this background, just working constantly, trying to get one up on us. So
he's like, they're done.
Pretty much. That's exactly what he was saying. Pretty much. Dude, for me, I still like, I love Kafka. I think he's a cool character. And you guys hit on it earlier, like he still gets respect. A lot of that's from his work ethic and stuff. And you look at like his boy Ichikawa, who is obviously like a stronger fighter than he is just from natural ability, but then he still looks to him for his leadership. And so he's a really, really cool character. I mean, the vice captain's my boy, though. The vice captain, like you hit it on the head, bro. He's a dual wielding rogue running around, just slicing. I mean, dude, he's a rogue. I'm like, that's my boy right there. Like, I love him. I think he's a good character. But Virgil, I think you said this earlier. There's not a character that I'm like, oh, I don't like this character. I think I like just about every single person. I even love the villains in this. Even the villain, which kaiju was that? Was that kaiju number 10, or which one was the red one?
Nah, I thought the red one was one prior, like Kaiju number 6 or something like it. I thought it was one that was before Kaiju number 8.
He was a sick villain too. I mean, he got destroyed, but it took everybody to do it. So he was sick too.
Man, I still like Ichikawa. I don't know if he's kind of my favorite. Ichikawa's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But you know what though? The young, I can't remember her name, the young blonde haired girl, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was like Kikoro.
God, she
Shimiya.
ain't no joke, bro. Like when she showed up and she was just running through kaiju like it was nothing. She is an absolute blast to watch. And what's crazy is that even though her dad is really, really high ranking, she still loves Kafka, bro. Like she cheers for Kafka.
Yeah.
You know, he ends up saving her, and like she becomes an advocate for Kaiju number 8. Like, man, and she's like, I'm gonna be the best. I do have a prediction that Ichikawa though is gonna end up being the best and strongest fighter on the force. Because there's just something about him, and even the other dude, the redhead dude, said it was like somehow he is better. He was like, even though we were at the same level, somehow he's gotten better than I have. And every time he just keeps upping me, one upping me. And I think that Ichikawa, did y'all watch One Punch Man?
Yes.
He's gonna be like what was his name?
I'm terrible.
Satama's right hand man, the robot.
Yeah.
He gives me those type of vibes.
And
like, I think he's gonna be one of these. He's gonna be one of these A-tier defense force fighters.
You mentioned old girl's dad though. He's also one of my favorite characters.
Hey, bro.
That dude threw down. And I know we'll probably get to this, so I don't want to give too much away here early, but I mean, I like the fact that here's this dude saying this is what we're gonna do, and then he gives a chance. You know, he shows a little like compassion and, well, let me see. My daughter said that he was all right, so I'll test him. You know.
Well, you know what? He ain't stupid though.
No.
Like with Kaiju number 9 showing up, and then like you said, the other Kaiju, they're worried because you know, in this world, Kaijus don't link up. It's not a thing. They don't fight together. And now not only are they fighting together, they're developing plans, and they can understand speech and they can they can communicate. And that's only numbered kaiju can do that. So, and like, you know, Daddy Bojangle said, you know, kaiju number 9 can morph into other humans to make it even. He was on the defense force for a little while. Was he on the cleanup squad?
He was on the cleanup squad.
So yeah, I mean, bro, that's dangerous.
Yeah, because now they're intelligent. Yeah, there's like intelligence there. I mean, they dropped they had a gigantic like kaiju bomb that they developed, and even though, you know, our boy punched it up into the stratosphere, it still is like death. Like, it's crazy what they're doing.
They're about to wipe out that whole like sector, that third sector, whatever they were called. They like launched that attack a certain way specifically because they knew it's when they were going to be caught off guard. So it was like the first time we were like, oh, these things are getting smarter coming out. And I don't want to gloss over Justin talking about like it was cool, like Kikuro's dad's kind of like giving him a little compassion in there, because that's one thing this show does well. Like, yeah, you have your cool fights and stuff, and they're awesome, but there's like these moments in between the fights where the character development happens, like where you get to know some of the one-off characters. Like the rich dude bought everybody this giant feast, and then they had that like bathhouse scene where they're all cracking jokes and like, which one of the girls are you into? And like little moments like that, like bonding these characters. So when they do fight, you're like, hold on, bro, he just bought him all the steak, the Wagyu beef. I don't want him to die. I like the way
the Wagyu beef, bro.
I like the way that show does that though. I like the action's great, and I really like the when the action's not there, like the character development going on between not just like your main character like Kafka and Kikuro, but the other ones too. All of it.
Yeah. There's a really that's a good way of putting it. There's a very nice development amongst the team. It feels it's like watching when you watch X-Men. Like you could
Yeah,
there's there's like one character who
Yeah.
like you got Cyclops who's like that core leader, and it's built a lot around him and maybe like a Wolverine from time to time. But overall, like by the time you get through 5 to 10 episodes or issues of comics or whatever, you're like, man, I know this team. Like this team's engaging with each other. They like each other. There's some cool like camaraderie there. I do feel that in this too.
Yeah, like the dude who's like just a clean cut, like guy. He's like real built, muscles, got the super abs. That even Kafka's like, what? When he first saw him, he's like, my body. And he's like, oh, my body is a temple. When they're trying to get him to eat the junk at the big feast, he's like, my body's a temple. I'm not putting that in there. And I'm like, dude, like just these little personalities for him. And they may not have a lot of screen time, but they make the most of the screen time where you like start to care about these characters just these one-off moments. It's really good.
You know what I thought was really, really good was the like the evolution of the relationship between Mina and Kafka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you know how we're watching and he keeps referencing back to when they were younger, and then he finally gets on the team and she calls him into the office, and he's like, one day I'll be by your side, and she was like, well, good luck, because vice captain, which makes me wonder, y'all think she throw hands like the vice captain, bro? You think if it's close quarters she can throw hands, or y'all think vice captain like top tier of the hand throwing?
I think that's why she has the tiger.
Yeah.
So you don't think she can handle it up close and personal, bro?
Well, she even said when she recruited vice captain, because there's that whole little like imagery scenes of him like training, and they're like, back in the day you would have been a prodigy, but now the day of the blade is over, and he keeps getting turned down to join the defense force. And then she's like, hey, I need somebody who's good with blades because I can't even handle a butter knife. So I need somebody who can be up close and have my back. And so I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I mean, that led me to believe that most likely she's more on that, hey, I'm a leader / I can handle these gigantic guns. And
but like she have like the highest rated base power though of anybody. Isn't her base power like 96?
Man, that's a good question.
Because I thought
I can't remember exactly what it is, but I do believe they did say she's the strongest character.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, she's a 96. Vice captain. I'm looking at it now. Vice captain's 92. So crazy. She's a 96, bro. I feel like there's something about her that we ain't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, basically when she shows up, the fight's over.
Yeah. Well, their battle percentages are based on like how powerful their guns are too, right? So like, even if she is up close with like a rifle or pistols, she still ain't gonna be anybody to play with.
Well, they didn't they say like the percentage determines how powerful your suit is, how fast like your suit regenerates, and you're right, like how much damage you can inflict,
right?
Because basically your guns are tied to your power level. That's why Kafka runs around with the pistol, dog. Hey man, my man, he be on the field with the pistol. Hey, but he be putting in work with that pistol, dog. He be out there, and I mean,
his little pea shooter.
Bro, but he knows how to use it, bro. He's making good use of it.
Yeah.
The writing about how Kafka was on the cleanup force and him using what he learned in the cleanup force to stop some of those kaiju was just brilliant.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, man.
Me
love
too.
it.
Main uses his brain, that's for sure.
He does.
Yeah.
And this is going to go into our next question, man. Like, how does it handle the trope? Because I mean, Japanese have a trope of kaiju. Shout out to Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and King Kong and Gamera, and it's a ton more. Ultraman is a ton more. How do y'all think it handled it overall? Since we watched 12 episodes so far, so I guess who went last time? I guess BJ, your turn, bro.
Hey man, I think they really make kaiju like kind of their own thing. Like I know it has your tropes of giant monsters killing stuff, but having one on their team like in secret was a really cool twist. And if you remember, like I originally thought it was going to be cool having the defense force like hunt Kafka down and him trying to survive, and I thought that was going to be a dope dynamic. But I like the way it worked out. I like watching Kafka's humanity shine through, and he didn't ask for this power, but he uses it to like, he makes the most of it to help the defense force and realize that dream of being on the defense force. And it's hard not to root for that dude. He's the anime Spider-Man. He got, except instead of getting bit by a spider, dude, he swallowed
That's
a
a
tentacle
that's a
monster.
great
But
that's a great. I like it.
We've been making a lot of Marvel references today.
it's hard. I mean, this show has it all, dude. It is a monster.
Some of mine. What you got, Mr. Longbeard?
I think it does. I think it handles it well. And I'm not a kaiju expert by any means of the but I like how they're not just giant monsters, that you have some that are more in that like there's a range of different, like, so there's human sized kaiju, and that's really what the vice captain specializes in, or those like smaller kind of kaiju and stuff. And I like that they're not just big dumb monsters, even though I know that there's been times where Godzilla has had some different things and has shown intelligence. But I like that it's not just these mindless monsters running around eating everybody, but there's like some cool dynamics and team ups, and it's going to be a battle. And now with even what's happening to Kafka, how he's been absorbed by one, he is one. I feel like we're going to start seeing more people that are secretly kaiju. And so I think it's really, really cool premise for sure.
So man, as far as kaiju tropes overall, so I'm gonna say that this takes a little bit of Power Rangers. Power Rangers was probably the first show that I felt like kaiju really, they were developing plots and, trying to figure things out. So I'm gonna go with that. I think it was a follow through of what, if you ever watch One Punch Man, even though they never necessarily give them the kaiju title, but that's pretty much what they are. And they're highly intelligent in that as well. And I was trying to think, I mean, outside of that, I don't really, like you said, there's been moments in Pacific Rim and in Godzilla, but there's never been points to where they talk and they're developing plots. I mean, because even the Power Ranger plots were only as good to an extent, and this just took it further. Of course, it was more adult. This show has a lot of blood and gore, bro. It has a lot.
Yeah.
And it, it wasn't just overly gory for no reason. It's very enjoyable. They did something new that the trope has never seen. I like the whole thing that there's numbers and that only the most powerful kaiju get a number. And it doesn't matter about size. It doesn't matter about any of that. It's just how much of a threat that they put up.
They were saying, don't they have a ranking for those too? Because when he turns into kaiju number 8, didn't they say like, oh, this is a kaiju with a power level of like 9.7 something? Or I can't remember what they said on these.
It is, but I think for him, they don't really know. And I even think for kaiju number 9, they don't know how. Even at the end of the fight at the end of the season, I still don't think they know how powerful he really is. I don't think we know. What's crazy is that Kafka has managed to control his kaiju the way that he does. Like he turns into the kaiju, bro, and he can still have it to where his head is normal and the rest of his body, like, it's crazy. This dude has better control than Venom has of his suit, as we talked about Marvel characters. But yeah. Yeah, bro.
Looked it up. It says he has a fortitude level of 9.8, making him the most powerful kaiju identified by the Defense Force.
That is dope.
Hey, I think they're gonna pull some Dragon Ball Z. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he has a power level of over 10.1."
I
Old
hope
school
so.
Dragon
I
Ball,
hope
bro.
so.
I hope so too, dude.
I hope so.
I hope that's a throwback, bro. Because you remember the first time you heard he has a power level over 3,000, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so high!" And then he went Super Saiyan, and there was no more power levels, bro.
Yeah,
They
dude.
stopped. They cut that
The
out.
scouter started just exploding when they looked at Krillin, you know? So it's like, yeah, good times.
Awesome, 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 and well, we already got our prediction from Daddy Bojangles. I was gonna ask the question: did your prediction come true? We know Daddy Bojangles just said that his did not come true. It's still, to be honest, Daddy Bo, it's a good possibility that your prediction still may happen, bro.
Nah, I mean the finale kind of killed that. They they said they were gonna kind of use him as a weapon. That's why they kept him alive, sort of deal.
I
So
know, but it still don't mean they won't hunt him in the future. You
I
know how
guess it could. Yeah, I guess it could. You're right. It could. I just thought initially like they didn't know he was Kaiju number 8, right? I kind of thought you get a whole season of that, and he's trying to keep it secret. But they found out relatively quickly that it was him. So I kind of actually felt like, if anything, if they were going to find out fast, that would have been the season 1 finale. But overall, though, regardless, my prediction being a completely different show than this was, I'm happy with the way it played out.
Yeah.
I much what you said. I was very surprised that we found out this early because I thought he was gonna hide it for as long as possible and only his closest friends were gonna know. But yeah, what was we 6 episodes in, and then they found out at the end. I mean, at that point, he didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because if not, they would have all been dead, every single one of them. And what was that? What was that Defense Force like? What was it? What they call it? Quadrant 3 or something? The whole quadrant would have been gone.
Right.
And even though they lost the majority of that headquarters, he still managed to save them. So
Yeah, and like something I didn't predict that I thought was really cool is like they have the die kaiju. There's the number kaiju. They add something neat to the show, but I like how the humans take like the defeated number kaiju and turn them into weapons and get their powers. Like you saw Kiriko's dad, that head of the
turning the Iron Man.
Yeah, dude, he was Iron Man. He was willing to power kaiju number 2. And then you didn't see his power, but you saw the officer who had the kaiju number 1 weapon. So I'm like, that's dope. So like you're either a number kaiju or you get their weapon. I love that. Even like the glimpse into the future, my boy popped up and he said, like, we're gonna get those weapons back. So the kaiju are like upset that the humans even have these things. Like I love the way it all played out.
Yes.
Yeah. Justin, you remember what your prediction was?
I do remember sort of, and I think mine was probably pretty close to what has happened. I think I predicted something along the lines of that he would be a part of the Defense Force as a kaiju, but I can't remember exactly what it is. I do have a prediction for what's going to happen, though.
Shoot.
I believe they're going to hurt us. So this whole entire first season, you're getting attached to these characters, and all these characters are bros. Everyone's getting through it all.
Nah.
Bro, we're gonna start seeing it's gonna. I have a feeling it's just gonna be just like Attack on Titan.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna be.
We're gonna get season 2 full of deaths of all the people we love. That's
I don't think it's gonna be that.
dude. It may not be that bad, but we're gonna start seeing these characters that we're all talking fondly of today, and they're all gonna start dying. People are gonna be turning into kaiju. We're gonna have something. Hey, Ichikawa. I'm just going to throw this and be a wild prediction here. He's going to turn into a kaiju, but he's not going to be good.
Oh, you think so? Huh?
I feel like it's going to happen to somebody. I'm just throwing it out there. And if it happens,
I don't think it will happen to him. I think it will happen to Mina. To be honest, I think it will happen to Mina more than anybody.
It could.
Who's going to be the traitor on the team and turn into Reiner? Which one of them?
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Somebody. It's
hold on. Y'all
we gotta stop. I'll go on a tangent.
Y'all forgot. So it's interesting that you make that prediction. And the only reason why I think that they're going to start dying is because they disbanded the team. So they're going to these other teams and they're not gonna have each other's back the way that they did originally. So I think this is where we start to see people die. But I don't think it's gonna be on an Attack on Titan level. I think it's going to be more on the Jujutsu Kaisen level because in season 2, boy, Jujutsu Kaisen, boy, they running through a few characters, bro.
I was a little upset about one of those.
Yeah. And I think that's the way it's going to go. And it's a possibility Mina might get. I would not be surprised if Mina or the vice captain did not meet their end in this next season. I would not be surprised. And somebody steps up to take places because we can't have characters this powerful sitting on the side. And we know that when they show up, it's game over. Something has to happen.
I was actually surprised Vice Captain lived through his fight, to be honest. I kind of thought that was
he almost didn't. He almost didn't, bro. Yeah. He was getting them cheeks clapped, but he was still messing them up. He was messing them up though with the knives.
Oh, he was doing the thing. I mean, there's no doubt my man was doing his thing, but
I do have one thing. Your boy gonna die.
Which one?
Her dad's gonna die. He's gonna die in battle, bro. He's going to die. What you said about them weapons and coming back, that's gonna be the first weapon that gets taken back is that suit.
Well, dude, I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't know if there's gonna be a whole lot of death in this show simply because there was when Kaiju number 9 was just absolutely demolishing Reno Ichikawa and that dude with like the red mohawk. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but they should have been dead, or at least the red mohawk guy should have been dead. But they, Kaiju number 8 got there in the nick of time to save him. I think it's that kind of show, and I'm okay with it. I don't need like Attack on Titan and everything.
They're building this up.
So they didn't die because your boy Ichikawa was playing
plot armor,
super duper smart for that. Even though he knew that his suit was maxed out, they still played it real smart to buy time. Like they were doing the best that they could. So, these dudes is playing chess. Even their dumbest members on this team are still playing chess with these dudes. So that's the reason why. But you start disbanding teams and you start moving these dudes to other teams, and other teams ain't gonna be listening the same way. Some of these people gonna die, bro. And I hate to say it, it's gonna happen. I don't want it to happen because I like all these characters so far, but it's gonna be happening.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying they're gonna get to do with the abs, though. They're gonna get to do with the abs.
That's what they did too in season 1, bro. They threw a blanket of peace over you. And they said, "Hey, here's a comfort blanket we're giving to you, bro. All these guys are gonna be good, man. They're gonna be good." Season 2, we're gonna see our first big death.
Yeah,
maybe two, and then it's just gonna become the longer this show goes, the more death.
Sweet.
No coach.
I really, as much as I love Attack on Titan, and Attack on Titan is definitely in my top 5 animes of all time.
Sure.
I really hope we don't get that type of death, bro. That's trauma. Attack on Titan was trauma, bro. Oh, this new character is so awesome. 5 minutes later, he's running on the side of the wall and he's in the mouth of a giant, dog. Come on, bro. Come on, dog. No. Hopefully we don't get that. I made a prediction about Ichikawa. And to be honest, it kind of played out. We didn't see like anything ridiculously crazy, but we did see his number bump up. I believe his combat number bumped up 5 or 6 points during the entire season. Because I remember he started out at one number, and by the end of the season, he was at another number. And they were saying how fast he was excelling, like Ichikawa, bro. I really do. I like all the characters. Back to what we were saying, bro. There ain't no for the Dragon Ball Z references, bro. There's no Krillin's. Shout out to Krillin, though. Krillin's still the strongest human. He was the strongest human on the planet. But there ain't no Yamchas out here, bro. Like Kafka will be the closest thing to Yamcha, and even when he still wasn't a kaiju, bro, he wasn't Yamcha, bro. We ain't got none of those. So, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to throw any, it's an anime, so I'm wondering if there's going to be any romantic elements. We haven't seen any. And it may not be, bro. This may end up becoming an all-out war. And I think that's my prediction is that this eventually turns out into an all-out war versus humans versus kaiju.
Yeah.
and it becomes really ugly. And I think Kaiju number 9 is the start, but I think there's something bigger in the weights that's watching all of this. And we're going to see something that's crazy, and we're going to see kind of the way that Loki was in the first Avengers. That there's a Thanos level playing in the background. Maybe we'll get to Kaiju number 13, and he's gonna be the worst of the worst. So
Yeah.
I'm calling that right now.
I can see that. I think Kaiju number 9 he's the first big bad of we'll see more, I'm sure. I don't know.
What an awesome character.
But they're already talking about, I know they said like at least 8 to 9 seasons.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of big bads then.
So
he's a great first one though.
This show, now that I watched season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, gives me a lot of that same feel from watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Kefka and Ichidori why did I say Ichidori? I did not mean Ichidori. For some reason, that's on my mind. The main character in Jujutsu Kaisen have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
They was nobodies who became the center of interest really, really quickly because of something that happened. So,
yeah.
And I feel like, power levels are unlimited. And I'm excited to see how both of these animes play out, man. I'm a fan. I'm here for
100%.
We watched season 1, and we do know, and we talked about it prior episodes, the season 2 is officially happening. And I think we'll probably get it either early 2025 or late 2025, somewhere around there. Y'all gonna come back and revisit this in the future?
Absolutely, dude. You can sign me up, baby. Not only am I coming back for season 2, I'm rewatching season 1 again. I'm gonna get my kids into it. It's gonna become the family Friday night show. Sit down, youngin'. We're watching Kaiju number 8. I don't care if you don't care about big monsters. You will at the end of this. We're watching it again. Great show.
Facts.
Yeah, I second that. I'm definitely going to watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it again this soon. I'll watch it again when season 2 is getting close to refresh. But yeah, I'm definitely watching the next bit of this for 100%, no doubt.
Same. Basically, everything y'all said. Once season 2 gets close, I'll rewatch it again. Before we get to a score, you already see how this is pretty much going. We are definitely gonna watch season 2, episode 1, and do what we do. But it'll be a little bit different because we'll make predictions. It'll be some of the same, but a little bit different because this is the first anime to where we're actually going to watch the second season. And since it'll be airing in real time, we're going to discuss the first episode of the second season, and then we'll watch the entire season at the end. And this is probably going to be one that we're going to run with, unless season 2 gets so bad, we're still going to run with it anyway. I don't see that happening. I don't see it pulling a One Punch Man, which One Punch Man season 2 isn't awful, but compared to season 1, man, it was kind of a letdown. So
yeah, 100%.
Y'all heard it here first. We going anime tofuers. We going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can be here with us to watch. So
join in the fun.
That's right.
All right. For the first time ever in anime tofu history, we seasoning, baby. What are we seasoning? The score of the entire season. Are we staying at a 92? Is it going higher? Is it getting a little lower? What y'all got, man? What y'all got? Anybody can go.
I'll leave it at 92. I think 92 is a strong score. I'm fine with 92.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember what I gave it last time, but I'm gonna stay at 92. The first impression was great. It ended great. Did it jump up past 92? I don't know, but 92 I feel like is a very solid, fair score for where we're at in the show right now.
I agree with you 2. I felt like, 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 I felt like I didn't hate the end of the season, but I felt like the last episode dropped the ball. Because I felt like, no, hold on, before you had to sit up. And the reason why, because the second to last episode was so freaking good, I expected the last episode to try and top that second to last episode, because the fight between him and her dad was crazy.
Yeah.
And, him losing his mind. So
That
I
was
was
the finale.
not, but it ended the episode prior to the last episode.
Nah, those last you're getting bleeding them together, dude. That fight started at the end of the penultimate episode and then it ended in the finale. That fight like got epic in that last.
But I felt like most of the epic parts of the fight was in the second to last episode, and the last episode was just kind of wrapping everything up and them finding out that, hey, he's good. But we also found out that because everything was destroyed, the defense force is getting dismantled and everybody's getting placed in different teams. So I don't know. I just felt like it could have, I don't know, just a little bit. Outside of that, everything else was great. Animation was consistent all the way through. Here's looking at you, Dragon Ball Z Super, because sometime that was questionable. The fights were great. I want to see more up close and personal fights with some blades. I hope there's a defense force that ain't nothing but blades. You know how great that would be.
Give us a samurai guy. That'd be sweet.
Yep. And I mean, the 92 I don't think it beat a 92 because I don't think it got any better. It just stayed consistent with the first episode.
Yeah.
So I don't, 92, we only have to tally that up because it's going to be a 92. It's going to stay that way.
There's one thing I'd like to just, one of my favorite parts of this, and we've talked a lot real quick before we get ready to get off here, but when Kafka was taken and they're like, hey, we're going to transport you, because, there was a lot of moments there where you're like, well, how's everybody else feel about this? Now everybody knows that he's a kaiju. And whenever he gets in the transport vehicle and the Mina or whatever was like, hey, just so you know, no one on the defense force on our side or whatever believes that you're the enemy. And all of a sudden you just see all this like outpouring of support, and all those dudes are like, and all the people on the defense force there that were his bros and had his back, or still had his back. And I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like a cool moment. Like, I don't know, for some reason it stood out to me. I was like, I like this,
It was, but she also let him know that, hey, if you go off the rails, it's your behind, Mr. Postman. I'm coming for you. She let him know that, hey, we cool, but don't forget.
Don't mess up.
It's on site if you start acting crazy. So
true. She let him know.
BJ, while we talking about favorite moments, what you got?
Oh, dude, I've went over several of my favorite moments, man. The fight with Vice Captain Hashino was probably the best fight in the whole show. Yep. Even that, when the dude was using Kaiju number 2 as a weapon, there was one time when he threw the punch towards the end of the fight where you actually see what Kaiju number 2 looked like a little bit. Was really dope animation. Anytime Kaiju number 9 was on the scene, he brought like this horror element to the show that I appreciated. Yeah, dude, a lot of good stuff in this one.
Yeah.
That final fight was great, but you was right, bro. That Vice Captain fight was different. Like, when he was fighting Kafka, woo-wee, boy, that's some of the best and most interesting fight design that I've seen in a long time.
They had that solo leveling vibe right there in that fight.
Yeah, it did.
That was great. One of my favorite parts was when they finally got to see what old girl can do. Kuriko? Is it?
Oh yeah, when she had the axe. And
she just came out wrecking stuff. Like, she was just all over the place. Showing like, hey, my power level, she's a power level of, which is wild. She's only a power level of 55. 55, dog. And she was doing that kind of damage.
Yeah.
She's epic. I can't wait to see what else that she can do. And even though that her dad was the leader, she was never ever like stuck up or She didn't down the team. The team aspect of this show was great, and I really hope to see more of that. And I hope this team comes back together at some point in time. Maybe like nobody does die, or maybe that we have one major death that eventually brings the team back together after they've had some missions with other Defense Force teams, and then we see a completely different, more well-tuned team. So I hope it happens.
Yeah.
I'm looking at something. We talked about the pink haired dude with the rigid teeth.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his base power level. Bro, his base power level is 43. 43. Ichikawa's base power level is 18.
Mm.
But when they were in the field, he looked at Ichikawa and was like, hey, you're more powerful than I am. Bro, that's a heck of a jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if she's only 55, that means Ichikawa's not far behind.
It's true.
This power level thing is going to be interesting to see.
It's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z. We're gonna have our over 9,000 moment. Don't worry.
We got it. It's coming.
I mean, we already got it. I mean, Kaiju number 9, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what else we find out. I guess we could read the manga if we wanted to.
We could.
I'm not doing. I don't do that, bro.
Get out.
You too good for manga? You'll play Marvel Snap. You play Marvel Snap.
He borrowed one. He borrowed one.
It's not. I like manga, but like if I watch the show first and there's gonna be more show, I don't want to like go. Well, I just need to know and read the manga. Like I'd rather wait for the show at this point.
I get you.
Hey, you didn't say that when Harry Potter was coming out, did you? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Actually, I didn't read Harry Potter until I was like 28.
You know what's crazy about Harry Potter is if you'd have read the books, you'd have hated the movies because there's so much left out. There's so much left out in Harry Potter. So, all right.
Spoiler alert, I hated those movies anyway. Let's hit that last fight, baby.
Did you? Did you really? I mean, there's like 3 movies, to be honest. There's only 3 of them movies that I would still watch. It's the very last one. 4. I'll give you 4. I watch 4.
4 is good.
Goblet of Fire. I'd watch 3. 3 was really good, even though it was short. And I'd watch 5. That's it.
I didn't hate those movies. That was a troll towards my wife. Hey, Veronica, love you. All right, let's do it, dude.
He's petty, dog. Petty. All right.
This is a real. Oh, go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say we're watching season 2. What were you gonna say, bro? What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
I was about to lead into the last bite, bro. I got some.
I was getting ready to go. That's why I was like, well, before we got there, I was gonna say, we're watching season 2. So, I mean, let's go ahead, bro. We gonna keep it a little normal with the closure of this show. So let's get into the last bite. What you got for us, buddy?
Hey, man, you're over there choking on the tofu, player. All right, here's what we got, dude. I had something completely different, but I found this, and I thought it was theming. So right here, real quick, we're going to go to crunchyroll.com. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. This is going to be, I'm going to ask a question. Justin answers first, then Virgil at the end. This is going to be the anime Tofu. Which character are we from Kaiju number 8? Justin's answering the first question. Why would you join the anti-Kaiju Defense Force? You want to help people? You want to challenge? You hate Kaiju? You want to make someone...
Hey, bro, I want to help some people, bro. Let's go.
Want to help Hey, dude, there it is. That's the answer. Boom. All right, Virgil. If you failed the entry exam this year, how would you react? Would you try another job? You're all right. You're not 32 yet, so that option's out. Failure is not an option. I don't need them. I'll fight the Kaiju by myself, or no, that was my last chance. What it is.
First and foremost, I hate you because you slid that in real slick. Don't think I can't stand you.
No, did he?
Oh!
I think that's my first no Diddy moment. Oh, okay. Bro, I want to be like, I'll try another job, but to be on Poo Patrol now, I don't know if I can do Poo Patrol now. That was wild in the first episode, bro. To to be in small intestines, bro, and he was cleaning up the duty. No, I can't clean up the duty. Nah. I can't clean up no extra large dookie, bro. Nah. You know what? You know what? Failure. Let's go with failure is not an option, bro.
Done. All right, Justin, fighting kaiju means knowing all about them. Are you ready to learn more? What's your answer?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with oh man. I thought we would just shoot at stuff.
Is that where we at, bro? Let's go. Yeah.
Virgil, you and your friends decide to join the Defense Force. Which one do you expect to fail?
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Out of us three, well, we all know Daddy Bojangles, but man, if we going on anime tropes, the old guy's gonna end up knowing the most. The loud one's gonna be brash, but he can usually back it up. The girls in animes are girls in anime, so you know, outside of Sakura, just terrible. They're usually relatively good. And the pretty face ones are usually the ones that are the most dangerous. So I'm going to go with none of us, bro. We ain't none of us.
None of us. All right, dude. Justin, if you had a choice, would you become a kaiju or obtain a numbers weapon? I like that question.
That's a really
that is a good question.
All right. I'm going to say pick the one that I just want the weapon because we haven't seen enough of what it's like to be a kaiju yet to know like what all the effects are. Yeah, we want a weapon. You go ahead.
But the question is, though, you know, in that aspect, like he was wearing that suit. If he wears that suit for a long time, does that actually affect his mental stability? I mean
that remains to be seen.
I mean, it's a possibility that could be the same way. But all right, next question.
All right, Virgil, how would you deal with an unknown monster on the battlefield? What you got? You gonna understand it? You just gonna see what happens when you get there? You gonna use your knowledge to help people? You gonna count on the team, or you just gonna run at the kaiju and keep shooting until it dies? I play video games with you. I know the correct answer.
Here we go. First and foremost, as a purveyor and watcher of Batman, the animated ones in the comic books, not the movie, because you know if y'all remember in The Dark Knight Rises, bro didn't look at no information about Bane and what happened. Back broke into a pit, bro, and it was well deserved because Batman didn't do his job. So we ain't doing that. We ain't just gonna go and shoot it out. Let's go with I would use my knowledge to help the people. I'm a smart guy, so I'm gonna use my knowledge, bro.
Right, there it is. I don't know how many questions I should have vetted this thing.
Watch this be like a 50 question.
Justin, what do you think of your power output?
What do I think of your power output?
Of your power output, don't lie to us. Don't lie to us.
That means I can go even further. That suit is defective. That one.
Yes. Oh, I think this has to be the last one, dude. Do you prefer the opening by Youngblood or the ending by One Republic? So all I remember is one looks like a screensaver, and the other one I don't know because I hit skip.
No, I think they're talking about the song. Both of them are good. I think I prefer. Ooh, they're both really good.
You can hit. I like them both. It's right there, man.
Let's Justin, you like music as much as I do. Are you lean more towards one than the other?
On this, I like the intro probably a little better.
I was thinking the same thing. I actually kind of like the intro a little bit better.
Is it Youngblood? Is that the intro?
Yeah, that's the intro.
Oh, we did it. We're Kafka Hibino. That's it. Anime Tofu. That's it.
We're the main character. Hey.
Yeah, hey.
We can now have main character syndrome, gentlemen. Look at that.
We got main character.
Main character. I love it. What a way to end the show. We got main character syndrome out here because we are the main characters. I don't care what you say. We are your big three, bro. If you listen to the intros of all of our shows this far up, we are main characters, and it's just that way. It's like that in real life too. If you don't believe us, ask your mom. So, yeah.
I mean, how do you think I got this number? Let's go.
Oh,
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. This has been a great, great episode. You know, the Tofu Indulge, our first OVA. It was great. Want to thank all you Tofuers who have followed us so far on the Kaiju number 8 journey. If you have not watched the show, it is the official seal of anime tofu that this is something you need to indulge in. It is without question. If you are a fan of anime, if you like things like, if you like solo leveling, if you're a fan of, you know, like your Dragon Ball Z's, your Bleaches, your One Piece, the top tier anime, this has to be on your list. This is a do not miss. Between this, solo leveling, and Jujutsu Kaisen, dog, that's could be your new big 3 right there. And I'm dead serious. That's how good that we are. Maybe we're experiencing, when we talked about this episode, we talked about that this may be another like early 2000s renaissance of anime. And that's the way that it really, really feels. Even the 2 shows that we didn't really, really love were still good animes. They weren't great, but they were good. We haven't watched an anime that's been like, oh my God, this is just abysmal. So everybody keep watching. Huh?
We have
We
watched
got
stuff
close.
that's been really weird. But
Yeah. 16-Bit Sensation, bro, is probably one of the weirdest animes that I've watched in a long time.
I was gonna go Monster.
That was weird too. But apparently, like, I watched I follow some people who do anime reviews, and one dude says like that main character becomes a problem, and like that show becomes really, really good.
Yeah.
He gave it like an 8 out of 10. So I was like, okay, well then maybe that first episode was misleading. So
Yeah.
Tofuers, I like to tell you what the next season that we're gonna do is, but I don't know. So I don't know. I know we talked about Bartender. Actually, you know what? The next one might be Haiku. We all seem to really like it. So I mean, it's not a super long series, but it'll be a while before we get to it because we just watched the first episode not too long ago. So maybe that'll be the next one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it don't matter. You know why it's not gonna matter? Because you're gonna follow us, you're gonna like and subscribe, and you gonna watch it anyway. Because you know what? We got main character BDE, and I said what I said. Y'all saw what the test said. The test ain't lying. The test ain't lying out here. We got that kind of energy. So we need y'all to follow us. We appreciate y'all thus far. We ain't done yet. I just want to say to all you Tofu's out there, thank you for watching our episodes. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you catching the little nuances, getting in and having conversations. We appreciate you giving us feedback and giving us things that we should watch in the future. And that's going to happen. That is definitely going to happen. We were talking about that earlier. We want to thank you all because without you all, we wouldn't exist. We like doing this. Y'all are enjoying it. Thank you.
Yep.
From the bottom of our heart, from our first special episode, we are Anime Tofu, and we are the main characters. So stick around and see how we develop.
We'll see ya.
Till next time, y'all. Catch you next Wednesday. Peace.